Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation, the way you flow, your presence is enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together.
Blah! Welcome, my people, to another edition of DBDS Live. Man, we're back from a small break. But listen, I'm your host, Mel Money, and I'm here with my brother, my main man who is ready to give you that, I would say, that insightful knowledge. My brother, Carl the Coach. Listen, my man, I have to say it's been a very long weekend. We have stuff, relationship events related to good things, and we have relationship events related to bad things. But how's everything going, my man?
Hey, no complaints, man. Just enjoying the road, seeing the country, building the business, protecting the brand. Hey, I can't, no complaints.
Love it, man. Protecting the brand. That's what I like to hear. And my thing is, speaking of the relationship events, first off, man, I want to just congratulate Floyd and Patience on their beautiful wedding. They just tied the knot over the weekend. And I have to say, Carl, man, just seeing them demonstrating black love, that gives hope to a lot of people out there. And listen, my man, you was there. You experienced that positive vibe, man. Tell me how was it over during their wedding, man?
It was phenomenal. It was in California, beautiful black backdrop with the mountains in the back setting, outdoors, perfect weather for California. But yeah, I'm telling you, as someone who's divorced, it gave me hope to be able to say, I can find that love again and be able to marry again. And I just love some of the things that their pastor said, that officiated. It was just phenomenal. I mean, great energy. One of the things they talked about, for them, even though it was their wedding day, they had prayed that even if there were people who were thinking about getting divorced, that they would be willing to give it a try. And Floyd shared with me that somebody had called them and actually said, hey, we're not going to give up on our marriage. We're going to give it another try and do the work to make it work. And that's what it's about, man. I think, and that's what we're about with DBDS, healthy relationships and understanding, it is not easy putting two people together, two hard-headed people coming together to be one. We know it's not easy. And man, I'm telling you, it's just, people just got to understand, if you're willing to do the work and willing to not give up, and I don't mean accept foolishness. I'm not talking about that. We know what those types of things are. But if you're really willing to do the work and just not say, the love's not there, or I just don't feel like doing it no more, why quit? You're going to quit on everything else in life. And man, I'm telling you, but it was a beautiful, beautiful scenery. I'm so happy for my brother, man. I've known him 14 years now, probably about 14 years. And man, I'm just ecstatic for him. So yeah, definitely.
Man, that's amazing, man. And my thing is that, listen, I wish I was there. I just want to congratulate Floyd and Patience again if you're watching the show. And that's the good portion, man. I just want to let people know that true love still exists. It's still out there. Healthy marriages create healthier families, and healthier families create healthier communities. That's my motto. That's DBDS motto, and so forth. So, but on the flip side, and I have to put this out here because it's been in the news, the bad thing about this relationship event, everyone is talking about Nia Long's unfortunate situation. And some are even surprised that she got cheated on based on how good she looks. I see a lot of brothers saying like, damn, I fumbled the ball. He fumbled the ball, excuse me. And I need to get in her DM. So listen, before we pivot to our topic, what are your thoughts on their situation?
And I know I posted something in the group and I asked different questions. I know there are a lot of people that say, until you're married, you're single. There's so much this fluidness to their situation, different things coming out. There's a lot of talk that they weren't even together during this time period. So necessarily he didn't do that. The other side is the other person was married. So there's so much going on with it. It's just sad that it actually made the limelight. But as I told somebody else, when you're in the limelight and when you're in leadership, your character matters. Your
Absolutely.
integrity matters. And I know some people don't like the role that what he suffered on his consequences. But, I look at it this way is somebody who's a COO, I've got employees. They've got to follow the rules. I got to protect my brand. And if you're messing up the brand because of foolishness, it's liable for lawsuits. And that's really where a lot of this came down. But I hate it for both of them. I'm going to continue to pray for everybody involved. There's children involved, with this situation. But I'll tell people, I'll end it with this part. It's two sides of it. Like I said, they were engaged for 7 years. I know she came out openly and said she didn't believe in marriage. Didn't want to get married. And the whole thing. If he was upset with that, then he should have walked away if that's what he really wanted with marriage instead of doing what he did. Because nobody should sit around for 7 years engaged with each other because you're wasting time of actually having a fully committed situation of the matrimonial marriage like Patience and Floyd did. So, and from start to finish with them, it wasn't even 2 years.
It wasn't. That's the sad thing.
Yeah, for Floyd and Patience, it wasn't even 2 years. So
it wasn't even 2 years, man.
But they're being mature about their relationship, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I love that, man. Here's the thing, my people. Time is non-refundable. And I don't mean to be harsh on the brothers and the sisters out there, but listen, when a brother is serious for that special woman, and I'm just speaking from my perspective, he will sign his name on the dotted line. I don't care if it's a mortgage. I don't care if it's leasing the car. I don't care if it's signing his name on the birth certificate. And that also goes with marriage. Of course, you want to take your time to get to know someone, but there are levels to this, right? Mm-hmm. Levels. So listen, man, we have an amazing show today, and we have a full pack house. So I'm going to just go ahead and just invite our guests into the studio because, listen, this right here, this show that we're going to talk about is let's put the fun back into dating. Let's get back to the basics. Right. People go on these dates, they turn them into therapy sessions. It's crazy. They turn them into therapy sessions. They take everything too seriously. Have fun. So what you think about today's topic? Let's put the fun back into dating again.
You know what? And that's the thing. I bring up Floyd and Patience, and they talked about that. How much fun they had dating each other. How much fun they had getting to know each other, and this is why they're married. And I think that's gone away. I think people are living for these Instagram relationships. Yeah. These Facebook relationships, and I think they've taken the fun out of it because they want what somebody else has. And that works for them. It may not work for you. And I think a lot of people are missing out. I mean, with this, there are a lot of people that you're somebody you're attracted to who is attracted to you, but because you were no fun, they no longer want you. And I think that's, if you can't have fun dating someone, and they can't have fun with you, back right, but they're not gonna want to be with you. Nobody wants to be with a stiff. Oh,
word, man. So true. Very well said. So listen, we have a great lineup today. Listen, and just to, I want to give a shout out to my brother Hazardous. Very soon, starting next year, dear brothers, dear sisters, we will be on the Pure Moment Network TV on the Roku channel. So be on the lookout for that. Just make sure you keep paying attention to my personal page as well as the DBDS page and the DBDS Straight Talk page. Okay. So now it's time to bring our guests into the studio. All right. And I'm pretty excited, man. So the first one coming into the DBDS live studio, our sister, she was here before. Very insightful, laid back, but I appreciate her wisdom per se. So I just want to welcome back my sister Leslie back into the DBDS live studio.
Hello.
Hey, Leslie.
Welcome back, my sister. Listen, so tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you from, and why you're on the show today.
I am Leslie. I am from Montgomery, Alabama. Single mom of 2 girls. I'm on the show because I believe in black love, and it should be fun.
I love it. Too many people, like Carl said, they stiffs. No one want to be with someone that's a stiff, man. You gotta have fun. Absolutely. So next, coming into the DBDS Live studio, my sister right here, she was on the show when, man, like within the year itself. She's an author. Man, me and her, we could talk about hip hop for days. I love her dearly. I'm so glad that she decided to come back on. I want us to welcome my sister Robin to the DBDS Live studio.
Hey, Robin.
Hey, Carl. Hey, Leslie. Hey, Carl. Hey, Mel. Thank you so much for having me back. I'm excited because we get to talk about that black boy joy and that black girl magic when it comes. I'm so excited.
That's what I love to hear. That's what I love to hear. So welcome back, Robin. So listen, we have some new viewers in the DBDS studio. So tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and why you on the show today.
My name is Robin Shackelford. I am an author and an actress and a former hip hop pioneer MC. I'm absolutely an advocate of Black love. I have 3 children. They're all grown. And I'm just excited to be here. That's it.
Man, that's amazing. Listen, my audience, you do see here, Black don't crap. You know, this is amazing, man. Thank you so much for coming back on this show. We greatly appreciate it. And next, coming into the DBDS Live studio, my sister right here, very opinionated, but the thing is about her is that she just says what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. And that's what I love about her. You know, her, Natima, the whole Diamond Riders, man, they really have an abundant amount of resources and knowledge that they can share with you. I want to welcome back my twin, I would say, my sister Mel V. Welcome back to DBDS Live.
Hey everybody.
Hey, my sister. So tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and why you on the show today.
Absolutely. My name is Mel V. As Mel mentioned, I am the vice president of the Diamond Riders, which is an all-female author group. I am a contributing author to our latest anthology, Beneath the Crown. I'm also an author of 2 children's books. I am CEO of MVP Management, which is a full-service management company. I'm originally from New York, but I currently live in South Florida. And I'm here today to just drop some gems. You know, if we can help one person get it right, then we did our job.
Woo, love to hear that. How is it down in Florida? Tell me, my sister.
Hot.
Oh.
Florida has 2 seasons. Rain, hot, and hot.
Rain and hot. Okay. Love it. Well, man, I don't know if I can go down there and sport my Timbs, but thank you for coming back onto the show. Appreciate it.
For 2 weeks.
2 weeks I can wear my Timbs.
January for 2 weeks to sport the Timbs. If you miss that 2-week window,
it's a wrap. I love it. Thank you for coming back on, my sis. And lastly, coming back to the DBDS Live studio, she is another addition to the DBDS family. She is the DBDS moderator, author, also my special co-host. Let's welcome back my sister Cameron to DBDS Live.
Hey, Cam.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Hey, Cam. So tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and why you're on the show today.
I am from Atlanta, Georgia. And like Mel said, I'm a moderator in the DBDS Facebook group. So if you're not on, join us. It is the best, most honest, most transparent, amazing group on Facebook. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in.
I love it.
So, I'm here today to talk about why dating is fun.
Yeah, we need to make it fun again. You know, we're going to definitely dive deep into the topics. Before we get started, listen, we gave my brother Floyd and his wife some love. This is what he has to say. Go ahead, Carl.
Thank you, my brothers. It was a pleasure seeing you, Carl, and thank you, Jamel, for your support. We both love and appreciate you both and what you both represent.
Man, we appreciate you too, Floyd and Patience. Congratulations for tying the knot again.
Absolutely.
And you give hope, man. So just many blessings to you and the family. And also, let's see, this is another comment right here. Oh, same one.
Carl, it's a pleasure seeing you. And Shamel, thank you for your support and love. We love what you both and what the whole DBDS family represent.
Okay.
Second one, yeah.
Represent.
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into our first subtopic. So today we're talking about, let's put the fun back into dating again, right? There's so many different ways and tips that we can help you spice up your dating life, right? So the first one that we're going to drop and talk about is, man, you need to drop expectations. You hear me? Drop expectations. So I'm going to go ahead and break it down and cue this up right here. So my thing is, let me be clear. I have to be clear. I'm not referring to anyone to ditch their most important values while you're dating someone, right? What I'm referring to is demanding that your date has to show up in a certain way, whether it's their height or their financial status. Because I believe if you come across with that mindset, then you will definitely miss the opportunity what may be in front of you, right? For example, don't base your date on how much they spend on you. You know, rate it based on how they treat you, because your main focus should be, am I compatible with this person? Am I having a great time? And these are the main components that are important, which will allow you to be open and to extend endless possibilities what the relationship may be, right? Mm-hmm. So first, I am coming to my sister Leslie. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
Dropping the expectations. It's hard to have fun if you have to a checklist or because I think a lot of people come on dates and they're like, okay, they check off this box or that box or this box, and they're not actually in the present moment and engaged with the individual. You're just checking off a list that you put together based off of wants. It may not even be what you need. So dropping expectations and just enjoying the date and see how the vibe is very important.
Okay. I love it. I like how you said the checkbox, right, Leslie? I totally agree with you, because there are some people that may miss out on someone who, you know, may have had all the criteria that they were looking for, but their expectation was so high.
Right.
And I've seen it happen plenty of times. You know, it's almost as if I'm watching an episode of What Chili Wants from VH1 or something like that, right? So next I'm coming to my sister Robin. What would you like to add to this conversation?
I think that Leslie brought up some really good points. Don't come in with a preconceived notion. You know, the topic is putting the fun back in the dating, and it's really fun to get to know a person. You know, let them unfold. Don't put pressure. Don't come in with any kind of, oh, I wonder if he's like X. Just come in with a clean slate and let them color on the page. You know, have fun, because if you don't end up with a man, you might end up with a homie. You know what I'm saying? So when it's not expectations, just go ahead on and just make sure you come in and bring the fun without trying to put pressure on them as if it's a job interview. You know, it's not a job interview.
It's not a job. Man. Partaking some notes. I agree, my sister. Listen, Robin, I just want to add another high expectation that a lot of people end up doing is that they're looking for someone to fix their problems. They're looking for that quick fix. And I'm telling you, Robin, I'm sure everyone on the panel may agree, but if you're looking for a relationship that may solve all your problems, chances are you're never going to find it. Because even if you come across someone that may be your soulmate, or you believe is your soulmate, over that course you're still going to experience conflict. You're still going to experience pain, because it's a part of life, right?
Yeah.
So this is why we're telling our people, listen, while you're out there, like you said, Robin, enjoy that moment, have fun, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Right. So next I'm coming to my sister Cameron. What are your thoughts on this topic?
Well, you know, my whole thing about expectations when it comes to someone else is that it's one thing to have expectations for myself, but typically disappointment comes into play when we have expectations for someone else, especially someone else who we're just meeting. And like Leslie said, and what Robin said, like, allow people to unfold naturally And if you're thinking too much about how they should be or how you expect they should be, you're not allowing the vibe just to like develop organically. And so really what you end up with is a representative of this person and not the actual person, because that's the thing with masks. They get heavy after a while and they start to fall off.
Yeah.
So who that person was from the jump with the mask, they might have been cool, but then over time you start to see something else and it's like, no, what you're seeing now, that's the real them. But they just didn't show up to the table like that.
All right, that had to be a mic drop. That mask weren't heavy. That was like a bar right there. No, very well said, Cameron. Very well said. And listen, I would love to hear, you know, if we have time, I would love to hear a story from one of our guests related to a fun experience that they had on their date. Maybe they can share some jewel to the audience that's watching, right? So next I'm coming to my sister Mel.
Carl said no.
No.
I wasn't supposed to catch that. It was a
No, he said no. I know. Listen, we can help the people out there, you know.
Right. Carl, you need to share.
Yeah, share some jewels. I'll share some jewels.
Nah.
So Mel, what are your thoughts on this topic?
You know, it's a tricky topic, because I feel like, one, you need to be clear on like why you're dating.
Okay.
Some people date for different reasons. Some people just date because they, like you said, they want to go out and have fun. Some people are dating for the purpose of finding a relationship, and then some people are dating because they just want a free meal.
Oh,
You know, so it's like, unfortunately, so you got to know really what you're dating for, because I think the reason why you're dating will dictate and determine how you are on that date. Like if you're just out here with the mindset of, I want to meet new people and, you know, get to know somebody and then see whatever happens, then you gotta go in with an open mind. You can't go in, like they said, with a pre-checked list of they gotta have this, they gotta have this, they gotta have that, they gotta do this, because you could have yourself in the foot before you get in the door.
ooh.
And just being open-minded. Like a lot of us have such these small-minded views of what dating is. Like dating means we gotta go to the movies, go out to eat. I'm like, there's so much more to dating, or like things that you can do to get to know somebody. Like me personally, I'm like, I don't want to go to the movies on like a first date. We can't talk. How much am I getting to know you sitting in a dark room looking at a screen?
Right.
Wow.
You know, but we have these things in our mind of what dating is supposed to look like. And it's like, no, dating is whatever you make it. Like, it's what works for those people or for you and for whatever season you're in that life in your life. So definitely drop the expectations and just get to know people, have fun, like really get to see who somebody is in their element.
Right.
You know, I meant learning, like, you know, build a friendship, like get to be friends with somebody and be cool with them and really get to know them. And, you know, like Cam said, see them after the mask, because everybody shows up to the first day with a mask on. Like nobody walks in on the first date and was like, look, here's all my baggage, here's all my problems, here's all my flaws. Nobody walks in the door like that.
No.
So it's like after time, get to know how y'all vibe. Can y'all hang out? Can y'all just, you know, can we go play spades? Can we play Uno? Can we just chill and laugh?
That's laid back. Yeah.
You get my sense of humor.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like, can I just be myself? Like, just chill. Like,
Man, damn.
Like just whatever.
No. Love that, Mel. Very well said. Very well said. Hey, Carl. It's from a man comments too. So let me play the first one here.
My best dates are when we were actually involved, like playing basketball, mini golf, bowling, or doing something else. I'm not the average woman who likes to be wine and dine and sitting at a coffee shop or a bar. Why do most men think all pretty women always want a routine, romantic dinner? For me, the more creative you are, the more attraction may occur.
Wow, sister. Wow. Okay. That's from a different perspective. Wow. Interesting. You see the sister shaking her head on the piano. And they're like, okay.
So, go ahead.
All right. Next guy.
Yeah. Haven't dated in over 9 months. LOL. I'm naturally fun, light, bubbly, all those things that are attractive. I see the world through the wondering eyes of a child, waking up daily to joyful anticipation. No need for games in my universe, but these were fun to consider, and I'll likely
what she said
intersperse
them into our play.
All right. Thank you for your comment, my sister. Okay. All right, and I'll take one more comment.
I need some advice. I really like this woman. We all talk about fun, but when I get creative, she turns down every idea. I mentioned let's go to the carnival, but she said it's too childish. I mentioned open mic poetry, but she said it's too bougie. I mentioned going to see a live jazz concert, and she said the music is too old fashioned. She is so beautiful, great smile, nice body, and all I would like her to. But the more I try, the more I feel I get deeper into the friend zone. What can I do to turn this around? Thank you, DBDS. Peace.
Okay, Carl, I'll let you answer the question. We'll go in circles, and I'll let you share your comment on drop expectations. But go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, we'll do this first, and I'll come back.
Okay.
So for me personally, you're doing everything you can, and I'm sure this is one of these situations where she's telling you take the lead and plan. And if she's not finding any of this creative, the best thing I can tell you to do is take her to the morgue. Yes, take her to the morgue and end the relationship because the relationship is dead. It's dead. It's over with. Leave her at the morgue. Let her figure out what dead body she wants to go out with, what course she wants to date, and just keep it moving, brother. You deserve better. You really do, because you're
keeping it real.
And all you're going to do is have to. What you're doing is you're setting yourself up for failure, because you're going to have to go to a level that you may not be able to maintain going forward.
Damn. Okay. Very well said. Very well said, my brother. Do you want to say anything about the drop expectations portion as well?
On the drop expectations, I love what all my sisters said. Y'all were phenomenal on that. When you talk about the mask part, and I think it was melted the mask part, people saying how everybody shows up with a mask. Nobody comes without it. But if you come with expectations, somebody may want to slide that mask off and be more their transparent self during that initial date. But you can't. They won't do it if they feel like they feel like they see you doing the checklist in your head. So if you're there looking at a checklist, how loose are you? How rigid are you? How are you rigid or are you loose? If you got a checklist, you're constantly having to revert back to that checklist in your head.
Right.
And I think it was Cam said, you're not there in the moment. So my thing is go out and have fun. See if you can hang out with people. And I like what the other ladies are saying. Go bowl. I agree.
Go bowling.
Cool. Yeah. Dinner is cool. But that's what I think most is. And I'm thinking from a man's perspective. We're kind of taught that's the thing you're supposed to do with a pretty lady. Because again, you ask a beautiful woman out, hey, you want to go bowl? Oh, I don't want to break a nail. You want to go do this? I got heels on, and so you're caught into that normal thing of dinner and a movie, and I think that's where a lot of that comes from. I'm like, hey, let's go skydive, let's go scuba dive, let's go do something. Let's go to the, even to like the little air parks where you can go in and fake like you're floating in the air and stuff. But that was a different thing. But everybody doesn't want to do that because, and again, this is no knock to women. I'm just really responding to the other comments.
Gotcha.
I don't want to get my hair messed up. I just got my hair done. And so I think most men get stuck, unfortunately. And it's an unfortunate situation. I think we need to be more communicative and say, hey, I would love to do X, Y, and Z and see what she says. But that's why you get the dinner and the movie more than anything else with it. But I think a lot of men want to be creative. And then again, there's a lot of men who don't know how to be creative. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, very well said, man. Here's my thing. Maybe there has to be a pre-date before the date. You get to know that person, understand their likes and what they don't like, and so forth. And then you can use your imagination to get creative. Because, like I said, the second date, I'm just throwing this jewel out to my brothers out there. So if I see you on Facebook doing this, it's all good. But my second date with my wife, we did a night picnic. You know, it was 8 o'clock. I set it up. I had the blanket, the grapes, the turkey and cheese sandwich, mayonnaise, crackers, all that laid out on the blanket at nighttime, playing Pandora 90s music, Jagged Edge. And we stayed there till the sun came up, and we were just talking all night long. But the pre-date before that, yeah, I was talking, getting to know her, and I could tell that she's a very flexible woman. Like, she loves creativity. So maybe my advice to the brothers, and maybe if the sisters can agree, maybe it should be a pre-date before the actual date. So that way you can gauge it and see how you can come up with some imaginations. Because that's us as the men, we have to lead it. We have to plan it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But listen, I want to come to my sisters about this brother right here, man, trying to win this woman over. We already had heard Carl's thoughts. Cameron, I mean, what do you think this brother can do? Because he feel like he's getting deeper into the friend zone. You know, he's watching right now. So, I mean.
Well, you know, if he's thinking, you know, he's in the friend zone, we don't know the full story, but
really?
Going from this comment, perhaps he doesn't want to be in a friend zone. And he feels as though he's doing everything that would not put him in the friend zone, but maybe in the I'm your man zone. So my first thing would be, have you all had a conversation about this? Or are you just doing things, making the assumption or having the expectation that she's going to say, oh, he's doing things because he wants to be my man.
Oh, okay.
I need to make him my man. Conversation about that. And then at the end of the day, if it doesn't line up with what he wants with her, regardless of how beautiful she is, take that somewhere else. Guarantee you there will be a woman who will see everything you're doing and will love you for it.
Okay, brother. Good advice for that, brother. I'm coming to you next, Mel. What advice you have for this brother? I mean, he tried to take her to the carnival. She said it's childish. Open mic poetry. Everything. She's turning everything down. So what do you think?
It's so much. I mean, I think one, it ties into partly what you said, Mel, about it don't necessarily have to be a pre-date, but even some conversation of getting to know the person. Because my concern is like, what have you guys talked about so far where you know what I'm saying, that you don't know what she does or doesn't like you don't know everything about her, but what kind of conversations are you having so that you can better gauge the type of woman that she is and the things that she's like? Have you asked her what does she like to do? What are the things that you enjoy to do? What kind of things do you find fun? Because if you're just winging it, you know, or just doing purely what you're like, you're gonna hit some walls. So like there needs to be a conversation with her about, you know, what are the things that she likes to do, what does she find fun,
right?
You know, stuff like that. Then secondly, I've noticed at the end of his comment, he's like, she's so beautiful, she got a great smile, she got a nice body.
Yeah, he said that. Yeah.
I'm like, is that it? Because I'm like, you like her, but I'm like, is that why you like her? Because clearly she doesn't want to do she doesn't do anything that you like to do. She doesn't want to go any places that you want to go, but it's just that she's beautiful and she got a nice body. Well, sir, you're barking up the wrong tree if you're trying to build a relationship, because relationships cannot be built solely on the fact that she's beautiful and she got a nice body and nice body. You have to share some common interests. And so, unfortunately, as beautiful as she may be and as nice as her body may be, if you guys have nothing in common, you might need to just walk away. I mean, I don't even as friends, like how do you have friendship with someone that you have nothing in common with? Like I have friends that don't like everything that I like, but we have some stuff in common. So I know, okay, if I want to go do this, I'll call this friend. Right. I want to go do this, or I can't call her, but I'm gonna call her. But in my partner, it's like I'm with the lady I said earlier, like I don't like traditional stuff. Like I'm not about how much money you spent on a date or all that fancy stuff. Like I think outside of the box.
That's your style. Okay.
Think outside of the box. If you get to know me, you know I don't like traditional stuff. I don't like the standard of everything else. I don't want you to be like, don't bring me red roses. I'm like, don't. Because to me, there was no thought in it. It's the standard. Everybody just bring me white, bring me yellow, bring me another flower. I don't care. But like bringing me a dozen red roses is typical.
Okay.
You know?
I like
So
that.
for him, my advice to him is find out what she likes,
Right.
and then see if what she likes somehow aligns with things you like to do. But if they don't, you guys are gonna continue to hit walls because you want to do fun stuff. She wants to sit at home.
Yeah, very well said. Thank you so much for that advice, Mel. Man, on the money. Robin, any advice you have for this brother?
Okay, so I agree with everybody what they just said, but my first inclination, I'm not even gonna lie, it doesn't sound like she likes him.
Oh.
And my advice to everybody else is date people who like you, because if she turns down everything that you've asked for, then either you need to ask her, what do you really want to do, and ask her, does she like you? And then, I really want to say to women, a lot of times it's hard for us to just be like, you know what, you're a nice guy, but I'm not interested. But sometimes it's better to do that than to string them along and have
I see
them
what you're saying.
sitting up trying to figure out, hey, does she really like me? So maybe he might want to start with asking, hey, are you interested in dating me, or are you just interested in being my friend?
Okay. Wow. Wow. Great, man. Tell you, brother, if you're watching the show, man, you're getting one-on-one advice right now. Leslie, my sister, any advice you have for this brother? Anything you want to add?
I agree with what everyone said, and I'm going to piggyback off of Robin just a little bit.
Okay.
You just need to ask her if she's interested. It doesn't look like she is. He doesn't need to wait and keep waiting on her. He needs to make a decision for himself. If that's not what he's looking for, if he wants more, then he needs to find it. So,
Man, sisters killed it. Thank you so much. And I'm going to take one more comment before we go to break.
I'm gonna say this too. Remember what BBD said.
Never trusted.
But to smile.
What? You can trust me. You can trust me. I gotta be.
I love it.
I can't stand him. Where did that come from?
Man, we're just having fun. That's how DBDS gets down. But anything else you want to add to the brother? I mean, Carl, from the man's perspective and from all the sisters, everyone in line, like, you could tell she's not as enthusiastic about this man. I mean,
and that's why I said the relationship to me, I feel like it's dead on arrival because it's, and I know I jokingly said more, but I mean, I really mean it, because even if, and I just keep it this way, and I think all my sisters are going to agree with this, even if it's not something a woman doesn't want to do, and you made all the suggestions, she's going to do one of them if she likes you because she wants to be around you. Right. She's going to go on.
I see what you guys saying, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's going to go on one of them and say, hey, Paul, this was nice. It's not something I would normally do, but this is what I like. The fact that she's saying no to everything,
man,
I just don't think she sees you. She, like Biz Markie said, they're just a friend. So
yeah, very well said. Yeah, you're right. I think if a sister likes you, she'll make it a lot easier to build the chemistry. It wouldn't be that much resentment at all. Maybe she does see him as a friend. So, and we're gonna come to this last comment, Carl, right here.
This from Floyd. He said, on my first date with Patience, we met at a local park, ate inside my car, held hands as we walked, and danced by my car to some Afrobeat music, and just talked with each other. It was simple and so natural. We just allowed everything to flow.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about, brother. Thank you for that. All right, so we're going to go ahead. I mean, great comments and questions. Keep them coming. So we're going to finish talking about, let's put the fun back into dating. Do not go anywhere. This is DBDS Live. Stay put. We'll be right back.
You and I, we talk all the time. And really, man, I just give, much love and appreciation to you for, founding, DBDS and starting it, man, because it's not normal. There's so much banter back and forth, and just like you and I talked earlier, before we got on, who's going to raise the white flag first?
Hey! That's beautiful.
Hi, I'm so excited. This is my first Queen takeover. Usually I'm in with the fellas, but I'm excited today.
Once again,
again, I want to thank this amazing panel and much love to the DBDS family.
Mel, take it
us
away.
Mel.
All right, welcome back to DBDS Live, and I'm here with my DBDS sister Cameron, my sister Robin, my sister Leslie, my sister Mel, and my DBDS brother Carl the Coach, and we've been talking about let's put the fun back into dating. And before we dive into our next topic, I just want to give some shout outs to those who I'm looking at right now on my check-in list. So I want to give a shout out to my man Ronald, shout out to Craig, Ian Lee, Yvette, Tanika, Phil Blunt, Jessica, shout out to Jessica, my boy John Paluno, Joanne Carter, Sophia, thank you for tuning in, and much more. If I haven't mentioned your name, thank you again. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate your support. So we're going to go ahead and go to our second topic, which I think a lot of us probably had done in the past. So the second subtopic that we're going to touch on is, listen, do not analyze, overanalyze. I would say don't be an overthinker. Like Robin said, let it unfold, right? So here's my thoughts on this right here. My thing is, I feel like when you overanalyze things while you're dating, it may sabotage a potential healthy relationship with someone because you're like constantly obsessing over the what if scenarios, or you base your action on events that haven't even happened. And that's a sign that you're overthinking instead of having fun, right? And I think the same aspect applies if it feels like you're never living in that moment because you're too worried about the past or too worried about the future. And this is why it's so important to let things unfold and have a great time while you're out there getting to know that person, right? So first, I'm coming to my sister Mel. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
Yeah, the overthink. Like I'm a natural overthinker.
Okay.
I overthink everything.
Okay.
And so it's the Capricorn in me. I can't help it.
Gotcha.
But when it comes to situations like this and like dating, you gotta, like you said, walk in with an open mind. I feel like sometimes people put the cart before the horse. You go on this date, so like before they go on a date, they already trying to figure out if this person gonna be their spouse, they gonna have kids, they gonna get married. I mean, like,
I know, always overthink.
Wait,
Just like,
you don't even know if y'all like the same colors. Like, hold on.
wow.
Or you don't even know what their favorite food is yet, and you already picking out the bridesmaids dresses.
Damn.
But it's real, like, because some people, it's like I said in the first comment, it's all about why you dating. Some people are dating with sole purpose, and they're just like, I'm getting older, they're trying to find a husband or a wife, and they just like out there, so everything is on fast track for them. Which unfortunately, that fast track at the end of it all could end up putting you further behind than when you started, because you jumped into something and rushed into a situation and put the cart before the horse in a matter of words, and not really gotten to know this person. And then now 6 months down the line, you've already in your mind committed your life to this person. Right. And then now you found out, oh wait, well, we don't get along, or we don't do stuff, or I don't like being around them and now what happened? You've overanalyzed the situation before you even got in the smallest minute ingredients. You didn't finish the whole pot of soup. You even put the potatoes in there yet. Like,
killing it.
So overanalyzing. Just like you said, go into it open-minded, have fun. Right. See, let a couple of things unfold. Get to know somebody. Get to know who you are with this person. You don't date everybody the same, and everybody doesn't bring out the same thing in you.
Exactly. Wow.
you go into this already plotting out the next 20 years of your life together, and this y'all ain't spent 20 minutes together. You set yourself up from failure from the very beginning.
Man, woo, man. Man, so true, so true. Very well said, my sister. And may I add that, listen, to those that are, in these dating streets, I would say, if someone texts you, you don't have to keep on rereading the text that you assume there's a problem, right? When there's really not a problem. And you start overanalyzing, like, what does this text mean? Why is it in caps? Or, why did not text me enough? My advice would be, instead of trying to figure out what they're feeling through texting, how about using direct communication to get to know someone and have a great time, right? Right now, we're in this generation of the lost art of communicating, and we need to get back to the basics of that, right? So next, I'm coming to my sister, Leslie. What are your thoughts on this topic?
Well, when you overanalyze, that's when the expectations come out, and that's when the disappointments happen. So overanalyzing could ruin a situation prior to you even getting there. You don't see a person, you just what is. You can psych yourself out, you can talk yourself out of the person, out of the experience. You won't enjoy yourself. And no one wants to be on a date with anybody where you have to be nervous and analyze and walking on eggshells. So there's no fun in that date, and you probably won't have another one. So.
Oh, man. You're right, Leslie. Before I go to my sister Robin, do you think, and I'll ask the other panelists, but to you, Robin, do you think technology probably has a little bit to do to it? Like, a lot of technology can lead to the lost art of communicating, you think?
I believe that you are absolutely 100% on point when we talk about the lost art of communication.
Okay.
The beauty of any relationship is, how do I, Robin, relate to this dude, so-and-so? And so if you're not communicating, and it's not free communication without expectation, you really can't get to know a person. And that takes the fun clear out, because then they have to pretend to be who you want, and then you got to know what you want, and then then you have a puppet. Who wants that? Nobody wants that.
No.
And so in the process of dating someone, you as an individual have to be open to, I'm going to be my authentic self, and I'm going to let them be free to be their authentic self, and we're going to see if there's a real clickability. And that means you can't analyze, you can't have expectations, you have to be looking for the real. And as I get older, I don't want to waste my time, not even for free dinner. I want to know, do we really click? And so I have no analyzation, because I'm busy trying to figure out who you are, and does that fit to who I want to flow with? Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so like, the relatability is the important part of the relationship. Can't do that going home writing your name and putting his last name, like, how do I sound like being Miss? You can't do that. At some point you have to outgrow that and just realize, hey, is this a good fit for me? How do I feel when I'm in this man's presence? And you don't analyze.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a class session today. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just like everybody's just dropping fire. Very well said, Robin. And yeah, I'm glad you mentioned like this high technology. It could be somewhat good, but if it's too much indulgent, I think it can hamper a lot what's going on with the lost art of communication, because a lot of people don't even know how to carry a decent conversation, and I just think, like, you cannot build a rapport with someone just through digital communication alone. When you're dating someone, you could tell a lot about a person when you meet them face to face. You could get a sense off their body language, their tone, if they're really having a good time with you, right?
Yeah.
So,
a big mistake that I made, Mel, like, a lot of times I would go on dates when I first started dating, and I would go on their social media and I would look at their background, see who their ex is and who they have a baby with. And that was terrible, because by the time I met the person, even if they've evolved from being so-and-so's baby daddy, I was still going by what his digital footprint said. So I don't even do that. Yeah. I just make sure they're not sexual predators or nothing, and then I go on a date.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, very well said. Thank you for sharing that, my sister. Appreciate that. Coming to my sister Cameron, what is it that you want to add to this conversation?
Well, the ladies definitely hit some key points. Mel saying about, don't put the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
Leslie touching on, basically when you overanalyze, you're dipping into expectations, and we touched on that. And then Robin, hit it out the park with, how do I feel around this man?
Right.
That's really that's huge.
Yeah.
How do I feel? Yeah. I know how I feel with myself when I'm with myself, but is he adding to that? Is he adding value to how I feel, or is he subtracting from it? That's really a question, we need to be asking ourselves, and not just women, but men as well.
Right.
But the only thing I want to say is, we can create some pretty wild worlds and realities in our mind that is not true with what we're experiencing right in front of us, just by overanalyzing.
Yes, we can.
We can.
Wow. That's all.
No, absolutely. I mean, I actually agree with everything you stated, Cameron, because I actually think let's call them overanalyzers or overthinkers. I think maybe they struggle to trust people because they're looking at every little detail with a magnifying glass, and that can make the person you're dating feel really uncomfortable, and I think that's the portion that leads to sabotaging a good thing. And as Leslie said, listen, I'll be surprised if that person make it to a second date. So listen, my brother Carl, the sisters are dropping knowledge. What is it that you want to add from a man's perspective on this?
I'm with them. I'm all in their corner. Everything they said, it just, I think, I'll add these tidbits real quick. Definitely what Cam said. I think Leslie touched on it too. When you overanalyze, you create a false narrative sometimes, and then creating that false narrative again, you go in. That's why I tell some people they sabotage the relationship before they walked out the door. You haven't left your house to meet this person, and you have already sabotaged the entire relationship because of that overanalyzing. And you go in. So what if he picks up the main course fork to eat a salad instead of the salad fork? And now you're like, oh my God, he can't be this. But you're overanalyzing something over a fork. But at least he's using a fork. He's not using his fingers.
Right.
But you're missing out on that part. You know what I'm saying? So, if he holds the door open with the right hand, with his left hand instead of his right hand,
overthinking.
Oh my God, he should use this hand. You're missing. I just can't deal with people who are left-handed. What are we looking at with that? So again, I'm just using it from those examples, but I think sometimes, a lot of times, even as men, we can do it too. You go in, you think, and again, you're thinking about past experiences, and our past experiences define sometimes why we think certain things or how we view certain things, but that comes from healing. So that's why, it's a fun topic, but I tell people all the time, this is why you've got to do the work. You've got to heal. You've got to put yourself in perspective, because you've got to be over what you've dealt with in order to move forward to deal with somebody else. So you're not analyzing everything they're doing, thinking, oh, well, he did this or she did this, they got to be like my ex. They can be completely opposite. Just because I turn my head to the right first and then look left, and that's what your ex did, doesn't mean that I'm the same person. And I think that's where we sabotage things. And as far as the communication piece too, I think it's a big problem. I think it's caused a lack of communicating today. With technology, I think it's caused people to not be able to do it. When you think about it, when you're out and about and people have their phone in their hand and they're taking pictures of their food and they got to post it to the gram and they got to do this. They're more interested in talking to their followers than talking to you. And I tell people, some people, I think, communicate with their followers better than they communicate with the person they're trying to be with. So how are you going to, you're in a relationship with your 10,000 followers. You're not even in a relationship with this one person who's wanting to be with you, but you can't communicate back and forth with them. And it's just like if you send a text and they don't respond right away, and you saw they read it. Now you got an attitude. Well, what are they doing? This and this.
Right.
And again, overanalyzing, thinking it's something different.
Yeah.
Not. And they respond back. Hey, I was in a meeting. I saw the text. I just couldn't respond back. But now you got a whole attitude. Well, everything sabotage the whole relationship.
Man. Whew. Coming from Generation X, I would say for myself. Back then, you know, we had the beepers, right? We had the pagers. To the audience that probably are not familiar with that, we had the pagers, and back then you had to. I'll say frankly, you had to have game. You had to be presentable, know how to approach a woman, know how to talk with her and everything like that. Mm-hmm. See, today you guys got it easy. To my brothers, you just slide in the DMs. That's it. Swipe left, swipe right, swipe left. Back then, we had to do the extra mile to really, really let that woman know that we like her. So, you know,
write notes. We had to write notes, man. We had to put rhymes together on paper, you know, and drop it in and try to sneak it in her locker. So, you know what I'm saying? It was a whole different type of thing. And yeah, you had to have your roller quarters on you with the people, but when your people went off, so you can call her back and find their phone. They didn't have something to talk about, man. They have no idea the things we went through was men. Oh man, they got it easy.
Oh man. Yeah. So listen, we're gonna hit up some comments. Thank you all for watching. First comment I'll go to right here. Let me just pull this up here. Boom, what this brother gotta say.
Thank you, DBDS, so much for this topic. For me, I overthink because of some of my fears. I'm afraid that I'm going to get hurt again, especially that I am so serious about my future partner and our relationship. I've been hurt so many times because I trust so blindly and wear my heart on my sleeve. What advice do you have for me to lower my walls so I can attract the right thing?
Oh, sister. I want to go to the sisters to help out this sister right here. So first I'll come to you, Mel. Any advice you have for the sister that wrote this?
Well, first and foremost, you gotta heal.
Okay.
So many people are out here dating and broken. And broken people cut people, like broken glass. You walk around broken glass, people just sticking their hand in the bag and getting cut, and you don't know why they're getting cut. So first off, before you even really start to want to go out there and date for real, you got to heal from some of that past hurt. You got to really heal, like not just say, "Oh, I'm over it, I'm done with it, I'm past it." You got to really heal and let that scab come over and let it, heal fully, so that you can let that guard down. Because as long as you still feeling the pains from that wound, you're not going to let your guard down. It's like, when you get hurt, like you get hurt on your side, you always walk around with your arm like this because you protecting the side. And until it stops hurting, you're not gonna move your hand from right there. It's the same thing with internal hurt and traumas from relationships. You gotta heal and give that some time to where it's not so sensitive before you can honestly say that you're gonna be able to let your wall down, let your guard down. But then in that, you gotta know that everybody's not the person that hurt you. And I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of having, not even just relationship trauma, it's just stuff that has happened to me in life that had made me look at things a certain way and reacting on that. And it has caused me a lot of, issues and friendships and relationships and things like that, where it's like, had I been more communicative about those things with these people and saying, hey, I don't really like when you do this, like doing this is an issue for me, so can you not do that?
Right.
But then also me healing from it in itself, so that it's not such a trigger point for me. And so from personal experience, I'm going to say you got to heal first, sis. Like,
wow.
You can't go out there and start dating right now, because you're going to be out here cutting people up and breaking people and damaging people unbeknownst to yourself. You're not going to do it intentionally, but you're going to cut a lot of people because you're walking around with a bag full of broken glass.
Wow. Thank you, Mel. And I appreciate your vulnerability on that as well. Thank you for sharing that advice to the sister. Next, I'm coming to Cameron. What advice you have for this sister? Cam?
All right, sorry about that, y'all. I definitely agree with Mel V and what she said. And while she was talking, what kept playing in my head was Bag Lady by Erykah Badu. And instead of listening to that song, read the lyrics, because this basically talks about it, what this viewer is asking. That's basically what Erykah is talking about, like our hurt, our trauma. Yeah. And, if we move through life thinking that every single man we meet is the one who created the first offense, they will reveal something like that, because that's our belief. So people are only going to show up the way you believe them to show up for you. In essence, you're going to pick them apart and see those parts in them that could potentially hurt you, and again, overanalyze and cause them to hurt you. Do the very thing you don't want them to do, but you believe that's how everyone is. Everyone is not like that. Definitely, me, I'm a proponent of healing. For me personally, I did it through therapy, because I hit it as a proactive action versus reactive, and fooling myself, oh, I'm good, just because I'm not with that person. I was like, no, I want to be bang up, air solid tight once I get back out in these dating streets.
Word.
And the only way I can do that is I need to be solid with me first and foremost, because I'm not going to go out here seeking external validation. I need to do that for myself, and I need to do that from a healthy point, as well as a loving point for myself. I don't expect that from somebody else. They're only going to reflect back what I'm doing here.
Wow. Thank you, Cameron. Again, appreciate your vulnerability, and man, you did the work, and I see we all mostly been through something like this. We're so traumatized that we have this wall up, and you're right, you have to do the work. Robin, I'm coming to you. What is it that you want to add and to help this sister that wrote this?
I agree with the ladies. Healing is absolutely necessary, but it's a big term, right? We're always telling people heal, but it's a big term, because at the end of the day, any relationship you have, be it with your children, be it with your man, be it with your church, pain is a part of growing. Gotcha. So there's a difference between pain and trauma. She sounds to me like she's been traumatized, and she's got a little bit of PTSD, and she's put walls up to protect herself from pain, but she's put herself in a prison. So a lot of times when you're healing, if you don't have a mission for the healing, it's just basically, I'm just feeling better about this and that. But what I gained from having gone through bad relationship after bad relationship, and finally getting therapy and realizing why I worked and made the choices that I made, what I learned was I didn't have walls anymore, because I don't need to trust anyone else, because I trust me. And I trust that I'm going to move myself from trauma. And I trust that I'm going to make better choices. And when I see that you're not necessarily the relationship that I want, I'm going to move myself out of the way. So I just encourage her to get healing and get self-trust to be able to say, hey, I can make a good decision about the next relationship that I'm in. And I can make a good decision to move myself out of that. And it's doable. It's absolutely doable.
Wow. Very well said, Robin. And what I appreciate, and I'll come to Leslie, but what I appreciate, all of you, Cameron and Mel, and I'm sure I'm going to hear from Leslie, you guys are sharing your experiences and the vulnerability, just to let this woman know that you are not alone. Like, been down this road, right? So thank you again, Robin, for saying that. Leslie, what advice you have for this sister right here?
I agree with everyone. After the healing and the counseling, just fall in love with yourself. Once you fall in love with yourself, you don't allow people to hate you. So rediscover yourself, what you like and don't like, and take the hurt, the lessons from the hurt, and just fall in love with yourself.
Love that. Very well said. And Carl, you see at the end, she said, what advice do you have for me to lower my wall so I can attract the right man? Like she said, the right man. So, I mean, what advice you have for this sister?
really, I mean, as far as the right man will, the right man you want is a man who is emotionally available, who is healthy and whole in himself. And you're only going to be able to attract that man when you're healthy and whole yourself. And I really just want to. Cam said something, and it got me thinking. And we talk about, as he said, if you deal with someone in a certain way, eventually they'll come out and hurt you in a way that you thought that they would hurt you, basically. And it had me thinking, that if you corner, you can have the sweetest dog. And I hate to use this example, but if you corner that dog's never bit anybody ever, but you corner that dog will turn around and bite you. And in this scenario, it's the same thing we end up doing. You end up cornering an individual, whether the man does it to the woman because he hasn't healed, or a female woman hasn't done it to the man, she does it to the man because he hasn't healed. But we end up cornering that person, and because they now feel like, okay, you're backing them in a corner, you're accusing them of something that they're not even doing, that they lash out at you, and now you're like, I knew that was in you, but you actually put it in them to come out of them to you. And so that's why I'm with all my sisters. You gotta heal. Gotcha. You gotta love yourself first. First off, you gotta respect yourself first. You gotta respect yourself to go get healed. And then you got to learn to love yourself. You got to learn to date yourself. You got to enjoy yourself. You got to get comfortable being single. And I think a lot of people are dating before they're comfortable being single and knowing that. And I don't mean the people that run around and say, oh, if I don't ever get married, I'll be happy being single. That's a lie. Y'all can send that to hell. I'm talking about the people that seriously are sitting there saying, I'm comfortable being single and able to wait for the right person. But, you don't want to be single, but you're comfortable in that. When you get there, trust me, Mr. Right will slide right in front of you, and it won't be any issue.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and reach all the comments before we pivot to our last topic and then our Jerry Springer moment. So let's go to the next one right here.
Okay. Man, overthinking is a curse. I've been an anxious person my whole life, but sometimes I wish I was naive again. Past negative experiences with men have caused me to become extremely wary and cautious. Yeah. And judgmental toward the new guys I date. But watching this show, I know there's hope, and moving forward, I'll begin to have fun on my dates.
Absolutely.
Okay, sister. All right. Awesome. Applaud you for that. We'll give you applause for that.
Yes.
Next one.
I've been dating this special woman for about 2 months, and after the 1 month mark, I started overthinking about things that I knew were true, like when she goes out with friends, and I would think, why isn't she texting me? To the point where I would have some resentment towards her. She eventually brought it out of me, and with me breaking down, she comforted me. She told me that she'll never do anything to hurt me. I was her rock, and that made me feel good. When I have a gut feeling about something, it's usually true, but for once, it's been a good gut feeling. She really holds me and keeps me from getting into the anxiety phases. The amount of love and constant reassurance I have from her is unbelievable, and I think I'm ready to propose to her. You think I'm moving too fast? I'm ready to lock her down. Thank you, DBDS.
Oh, brother.
Yes.
Oh, yes, you are. Yeah.
Yeah, way too fast, bro.
Man, it's just only been 2 months, man. All right, go ahead.
It takes time. I mean, again, we can know that this is somebody we may consider marriage with, and you may see that. But I would recommend this first. I would go to counseling to work on your anxiety. I would go to counseling to figure out where most of that anxiety comes from and get that together. Because what you don't want, and this please take this, understand the context as I say this. What you don't want is you don't want her to be your therapist and your wife.
Right.
It's not going to work. So you may get in therapy and realize she's not that one for you because she's actually filling a void that you have from your anxiety. it's just something to think about so that you don't end up hurting yourself and hurting her. But I would definitely back off the proposal part right now.
Slow it down, brother.
And then if you're still feeling the same way several months down the road after counseling and doing the work, nothing wrong proposing and taking your time even to set the date on that part.
Yeah, very well said, my brother.
Right.
And my man, if you watch him, listen, a true relationship is not putting a person on lockdown. A healthy relationship is where you have freedom within that relationship. That person has the free will to want to be around you. She has, or he has, the free will to want to communicate with you and have the free will to want to be respectful towards you and so forth. So never change that perception that lock it down. No, a healthy relationship is freedom. You know, that's my thoughts on that. I'll come to you, Robin. Any advice you have for this brother? I mean,
I appreciate Carl saying, "Hey, go get some therapy."
Gotcha.
Don't let her Ayanla Vincent your whole life, because just because she's capable of doing that, it's not for the best of the relationship. That's her responsibility. Everybody has to show up healthy. Be the best you can be before you decide to make a lifetime out of it. Because she can be there while you're weak. But if you're already weak over nothing, when life really happens, she's going to hold the whole brunt. So take your time. Don't lock her down, but go get you some therapy and make sure that you are mentally healthy and strong. And then she can be mentally and healthy and strong so he can be there for her and vice versa. So I think that everything that Carl said was dead on the money. And 2 months is...
Yeah, wow, my brother. Whew. Yeah. I'm coming next to my sister, Mel. What advice you have for this brother?
I agree with what everybody said so far. You definitely want to get some help and heal yourself, because you don't want to put that weight and that responsibility on your partner. Especially this early on, but in general, you don't want her to have to carry that weight of being the person that has to, I guess, soothe you or like calm you.
Right, reassure you all the time.
That's a heavy weight for her to have to carry, because what happens in that moment when she has something going on and she can't be that for you? Right. Then now you're just like, well, what happened? Now you're going to be questioning, well, does she still love me? Does she just, because she can't be this person that you built her up to be?
Wow.
You made her this person, like you made her your rock and your confidant, your comfort, which a partner should be. Right. But that shouldn't be the premise of your relationship. And I could be wrong, but I feel like the love that you have for her is stemming from her ability to cope and soothe you in these moments.
Right.
See how you function when she doesn't have to be that. Like when she doesn't have to be that person in the relationship and y'all can just be, see how you feel then and then go forward to that. Because right now you're putting a lot of weight and pressure on her. Right. And I mean, thankfully she's living up to it, but I feel like that seems to have been the huge part of the 2 months of your relationship, her being that. And as much as we can carry heavy loads, our arms get tired too sometimes. What happens when she wants to put that down?
Yeah, man, it's acting like she's a Chevy pickup or something, man. Sooner or later, that's gonna wear a tear, man. Man, coming to very well said, man. I feel like all my sisters, man, need to be on dearbrothersdearsisters.com and sign up as the coach and get paid for this, man. Because you guys are really dropping some knowledge. Coming to my sister Cameron, I mean, do you think he's moving too fast as he was asking? I mean, what are your advice for this brother right here?
Yes, absolutely. I agree with what everyone has said. And, while I will hold out for, and I have seen relationships, but, in the past where they met, dated, engaged, married within 30 days, and they're still together 30 plus years. I've witnessed those not only in my family, but outside of my family. So I do believe they are possible and they are real.
Okay.
However, the reasons he's stating for wanting to propose to her, like everyone has said, now you're going to, in essence, become, and I mean this with all the love in my heart, but a ball and chain.
Right.
and that is heavy for a woman. And let's just say down the line at some point, she's resistant. Let's just say she's strong and she can handle it. But then you want to start a family and have children. What will happen when her attention is no longer going towards you like it was prior to the children?
Wow.
Like with a lot of relationships, that's where the rubber stops meeting the road.
Yes.
When the children come into play, everything's fine and dandy when we're together. We're rocking.
Yeah.
But then when attention and focus goes elsewhere within the family dynamic, then we have issues that were probably there in the beginning. They were red flags, or probably pink flags. Let's just call them pink. But they weren't white. They weren't.
Woo, fire.
They
Pink
weren't
flag.
pink. They were pink flags.
Wow,
and
fire.
Then throw kids into the mix, extra expenses, and now they become red flags.
Wow. Whew. You don't have
So
to
I'm
drop a
just
mic.
saying, take your time, baby. Go get the
your
help
time,
you
baby.
need. Fill your cup on your and
I like
give
that.
her the
Whew.
overflow.
Uh-oh.
Amen.
Give her the overflow.
Very well said, Cameron. Man,
I love that.
school's in session. Yes, love it, love it. Man, Leslie, did I come to you? I'm losing my. Okay, Leslie, what is it that you want to add to this comments? Because this brother, man, he 2-month mark, he trying to lock it down. He said, "That's it."
Honestly, at 2 months, he still should be having fun dating her.
Oh, okay,
It,
gotcha.
it should still be, getting to know her, but also like and enjoying it. And after a month, you have resentment already.
Already.
It's all red flags, actually. So, deeper, you go get counseling because it should still be fun. They should still be
Yeah.
in a loving phase right now. Yeah. So they definitely shouldn't be getting married.
Right, it does.
Until it gets back to that, if there ever was.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a honeymoon stage either. Yeah, very well said. All right, so I'm gonna take a couple more comments, then we're gonna hit the last topic. So let's go to my brother Floyd. Let's see what he says.
So true. You have to heal from your past and to work to become the person that you desire to attract by spending time truly learning to love, honor, respect, and value yourself. Absolutely.
Very well said, Floyd.
You can only give someone what you give to yourself first. And once you know what and who you are, you will never settle for anything less. You can only give from where you have been healed or from a place where you are still hurting. Yep.
Okay, very well said. Thank you so much for all the comments, everyone. So we're going to go ahead and pivot to our very last topic. And the very last topic, and this is self-explanatory, and that will be stop comparing your dates to your exes. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. A lot of people tend to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and size this up. So my thing is, the moment you begin to compare your date to your ex, I think it sets, unrealistic expectations, and it makes your date feel worthless. It'll probably make them feel unappreciated.
Yeah.
And when that happens, the possibility of having fun, in other words, flip upside down, and you will have a bad dating experience. Trust me, So first, I'm coming to my sister Cameron. What are your thoughts on this topic right here?
Yeah, definitely. No, it's just not a good thing.
It's not a good thing. It's just not.
I don't know how to say that any simpler. Don't do it. Like,
That's simple.
Why would you want to be compared? Like, seriously? Like, how would you feel if somebody showed up to a date and all they talked about was their ex? It doesn't feel good. So if it doesn't feel good to you, don't do it to them, especially if you're taking time out of your day to spend with a stranger, in essence, that on some level you are attracted to, because I don't think we spend our time, doing things that we enjoy, to do it with someone we're not attracted to or at least curious about, and think, oh, let me see how I vibe with this person.
Right.
So if you wouldn't do it to yourself, don't do it to them. And you know what? Honestly, my exes, trust and believe, they come into play. But they come into play because of lessons that I've learned. So now those lessons have become my standards and my values. So they're in the mix, but they're really not in the mix, if you see what I'm saying. And, everybody has a clean slate with me.
Okay. Cameron, very well said. And here's the thing: some people fail to realize that when you begin to compare, it shows a lack of respect towards your date. So very well said, Cameron. I'm coming to my sister Robin. What is it that you want to add to this conversation?
One of the things that I hate most on this planet is a man that talks about his ex all the time.
Oh.
And my suggestion is get over your ex before you even start dating. Because there are a lot of men or a lot of women that are not over their ex, because understand your ex is not all bad or you wouldn't have stayed with them. And a lot of times you leave them for the bad stuff they do, but you're so caught up in the reminiscing of the good stuff that they've done that you don't have a clean slate. So get over your exes, because your ex is an ex for a reason. And like Cameron said, give everybody a clean slate. And a lot of people claim they're over their exes, but at the same time still stalking their social media and still in the back of their mind they might call. And that's not fair to the new people. So if you got any kind of feelings towards your ex, you don't need to date nobody. You need to sit down somewhere until that's gone. Get over them completely, the good and the bad, because I don't want to hear it. Don't talk to me about what Shanae used to do. I don't care. This is right. I'm a whole different person. And I think that, like you said, Mel, is disrespectful to the new person, because I shouldn't know that much about your ex.
Or
if it's truly an ex.
Right.
Man. Back to you, Robin, and then I'll go to Mel and then Leslie. So do you think it's right that you should ask a person, why did you break up with your ex? Like, do you think the whole conversation of the ex should be left out of it when you date someone?
No, not at all. I want to know, did you learn what you needed to learn? Because a way a person leaves one thing is how they're going to come into another thing. So yeah, and when you bring up that question, that's really going to let you know where he stands with the ex. Because if he starts talking about, man, she made chicken parmesan. No, I just need to know, what did you get from the relationship? And did you learn your lesson? Because I believe that people come into your life, and failed relationships was a lesson. You're supposed to get something from that. Right? And if you really got what you're supposed to get from it, you'll say, this is what I learned from my breakup with so-and-so. I'm not going to be talking about chicken parmesan because I don't want to offend you because you're my future. And the difference between a person who's healed from a past relationship and one that just left a past relationship is really how they talk about the ex, in my mind. So no, I don't think those questions are off limit. I think, hey, what did you learn from your last relationship? And if he starts talking about chicken parmesan, then I pick up my phone and start taking the pictures of the food and posting on Instagram.
And you get left at the table.
Okay, very well said. I'm coming to my sister Mel. What are your thoughts on this topic?
I mean, I agree. I was going to say exactly what Robin said. Like, I feel like if you bringing up your exes and you talking and comparing your exes, you are clearly not over that situation.
Okay.
So you either need to go back and get whatever closure you need and finish that off, or you just need to sit home until that door is all the way closed. But then also, I feel like people have to be very mindful of what they carry when they carry that around, because I do believe that you attract what your energy puts out. So if in your mind all you're thinking about is what this person did to you and how bad they are and what they did, you're gonna attract that. That's what you're gonna draw to you. You're gonna keep drawing your exes. In figurative speaking, you're gonna keep drawing people just like your exes because you're still holding that on and carrying that with you.
Right.
So you're gonna be surprised to understand, like, you keep dating people and you're like, oh my gosh, like they're so much like my ex, because that's who you're attracting.
Right.
you're drawing that energy to you because you're still holding on to whatever that is. So you might keep running into those same characters again, not because of the people, but because of you. Like you're that magnet, you're drawing that attention to you. So let that stuff go so that you can meet somebody who's not like your ex, so that you cannot make the comparison. But you keep drawing, your ex to you because you're still carrying that around. So yeah, leave the exes where they are. They're ex for a reason. If you still have that much held up in you, you might need to go back and revisit that relationship and make sure that you're really done and get the closure you need. And figure out like Robin said, figure out what you're supposed to learn from that. Like people ask me all the time, do you regret any relationships? Nope. I don't regret any of them because I learned something from every single one of them. Things I regret and things I didn't learn from.
Yeah.
Okay. Big difference. Very well said. Yeah. Well said. Yes, coming to my sister Leslie. What are your thoughts on this topic?
Well, X equals pass. So.
Oh. Bye.
And I do ask the question about exes because I'm trying to see if you're in a healthy place, if you've moved past, if you healed past, and I'm trying to see if we are on the same page. Because if I have no attachments to an ex, I need to make sure that you don't have one either. Exactly. So I definitely ask that question.
Okay. Very well said. Okay. I think sometimes I agree with everyone what they're stating. Sometimes people, I think, that are not over their ex, I think that sometimes they wish they can take all the best parts from every past relationship and mold them into the perfect partner that they're dating right now. And I mean, to my people out there, that's not reality. That's like some weird Frankenstein science thing, something. Yeah. So don't do that, my people. You know what I'm saying? And I think those are some valid questions. I know when I was dating April, she did ask me about my ex, and I just stated, listen, we just weren't compatible at all. It just didn't work. I didn't get into details and say what happened and this and that and drawing out and talk about the Parmesan cheese and like Robin said, it was just we just wasn't compatible. And then I pivot and I was like, hey, let's take the time to get to know each other. That's how I did it. All right. So I'm coming to my brother Carl, man. I mean, all the sisters are knocking it out the park, man. They all dropping gems, man. I mean, what's your thoughts on this topic?
Well, I'm gonna talk about chicken parmesan because I make a mean.
Oh.
I make a mean chicken parmesan. So I make a mean jerk chicken parmesan. So I'm gonna talk about the chicken parmesan from my perspective, Ms. Robin. But no, but really, it really is. It does happen to them. But like I said, you don't want somebody. You want to ask that question. And I think for me, perspective is knowing, and then what did they do after that? Right. That's another question to me. Did you go to counseling? Did you, what did you do during that time between the ex and now? Those questions, those to me, legit questions you need to ask during that time period, because you want to know. Because again, I think as Leslie just said, you want to know if y'all in the same compatibility space.
Right.
But when you're dating, I don't look at somebody and be like, oh, I wish she was like this or this. Everybody is new to me. So when you're out on that date, you go out, you have fun. I don't even look at that stuff, and I don't even like to do the same things I did with an ex. Sometimes those things do cross bridges. If you go to the movies, but if I had we had a favorite restaurant, why would I go there?
Right.
You're asking, you're setting yourself up for a situation.
You are.
In that favorite resorts you might have gone to. Okay, so what if you love Jamaica or Trinidad, but it don't mean you have to go to the same resorts. You know what I'm saying? So that's those things you don't have to do with that. So it's just little things like that. Like I said, you don't want to compare that person to that person. But when I tell people this though, when you look at some people and you look at everybody they dated, some people have a type. And they date the same type. He's if for some women it might be he's 6'2" in chocolate. For a man she might be 5'1", 5'2" in the red bone. Or it's just all these different. Then they have a type, and you got to be careful how your type plays into how you're dating, because
Right.
you're really looking, as we talk about a lot of times, Mel, Cameron, I know we talk about it too. You're dating your ex in another body.
Mm.
You know, so be conscious of that when you're when you're out dating, so that you're not doing that, just because you say you're over, but it's like, well, I'm over her, but but I'm dating a twin.
No, yeah, that's not fair.
That's deep.
So
Man. Well said, man. So listen, we are going to go ahead and take one last commercial break. I don't want this show to end. Seriously, I do not want this show to end. But we're going to take one last commercial break. When we come back, we are going to hit up our Jerry Springer moment. This is it. We're going to find out who the baby daddy is when you come back. All right. So sit tight. This is DBDS Live. We'll be right back.
Are you single? Do you know about dbdssingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up today at dbdssingles.com. Let's make love and loyalty dope again.
All right. We gotta take a selfie. Rob, you want to take a selfie with me? Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back to DBDS Live. I'm your host, Mel Money. I'm here with my lovely sisters, Robin, Mel V, Cameron, Leslie, and my brother Carl, the coach. And we've been talking about let's put the fun back into dating again. And this has been a phenomenal show. That last commercial, which DBDS established our own dating website, we want to help people find healthy love. So that way you can get from point A to point B. And you get yourself a man full with great integrity and a sister that is bride worthy, right? So again, congratulations to our DBDS fam, Floyd and Patrice. I love black love. I think it's phenomenal, and we need to spread that more than what's going on right now in the world today. All right.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go ahead and touch on our Jerry Springer moment. This is the time that we share our final thoughts for the show. Before doing so, if you enjoyed this episode, please, make sure you check us out. We're available all over the place. You can catch us on Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, Anchor. Please just check us out. You can go to our website, dearbrothersdearsisters.com. And make sure you click the link, follow us, subscribe, and to those that continue to support us, we greatly appreciate it. So first, I am coming to my sister Mel V. Give the people who's watching your final thoughts for today's show.
My final thoughts would be, 1, know why you're dating. Be clear on your purpose in dating. And with that, move accordingly. If you're dating just for fun, then have fun. If you're dating to find a relationship, don't have any expectations. Go in, meet somebody, and have fun. Moral of the story is have fun. But before you get back out in the dating world and before you can have fun, you gotta heal. So make sure that you yourself are in a position to receive the things that you want from whoever it is that you're dating. That's my final thought.
Woo, very well said. Thank you, my sister. Appreciate that. And next, I am coming to my sister, Robin. What are your final thoughts for today's show?
I loved everything that Mel V said. I believe that there is nothing more powerful, more beautiful, more enjoyable than Black love. And I believe that it is worth getting healthy, getting healed, getting whole, and just expounding your joy so that you can come together and find your Black love. Find somebody to take your love out on. Take your time. Don't go in with expectations. Enjoy yourself. Trust your gut. Listen to your heart and check in with how you feel about that person and how that person makes you feel. And then lock it down, so to speak, so that we can get our power back as a Black community, because it all starts with the Black love. Michelle Obama didn't make that impact for no reason. You know, Jay-Z and Beyonce didn't make that impact for no reason. Black love at all costs. At all costs. That's it. That's
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for your passionate thoughts, Robin. I appreciate that. Next, I am coming to my sister Leslie. What are your final thoughts for today's show?
Black love is vital to our community. We need to see more of it. We need to experience more of it. We need to give more of it. That's the only way our community is going to survive and thrive. And I think it's a beautiful thing, and we all should have it. So we do the work.
Very well said. Thank you, my sister. Thank you. Listen, I know our culture, we promote singlehood to the fullest, but think about it. That one wing, you could get higher with two wings, right? Two wings, not just one wing. Let's start changing the mindset from the singlehood to start revolving around two wings, so we could take it to a whole nother atmosphere. Okay. My sister Cameron, phenomenal show. What are your final thoughts? Great show. I can go.
Absolutely. Great show. And of course, as always, we don't always get to the topics, every single one of them, because we have so much to say. But, you know, pretty much when we drop the expectations, we drop the comparisons of our exes, aka our past, and we don't overanalyze. Dating is fun. Just have that one focus. Dating is fun. It'll take care of itself. And actually, that was a mantra that I had back in 2012 when I was going through my divorce and moved back to Atlanta. And everybody was saying, oh, but the numbers, you know, it's 20 women for every one man. I was like, and? Right. It's fun. Dating is fun to me.
It is.
I love it. I love it.
And met some amazing men. Gotten 2 marriage proposals. So it is what you make it, people.
It sure is.
All right, and my brother Carl. Carl, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know, brother. You changed from Carl to Shadow. You know, I don't know if you want me to call you Shadow or Nightcrawler. But brother, where are you, man?
It's still, I can still hear y'all. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We just can't see you.
Yeah,
I
man.
can hear you.
Huh.
I don't know,
happened
man.
there?
I don't know, brother. All of a sudden, it's Gotham City, man. Where are you, brother?
Uh-oh.
Okay. There you
Hit it. Let me see. Can you see me? Did it come back? No.
Oh, it's all good, brother. We can hear your voice. So, phenomenal show, man. Just what are your final thoughts, my man?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I applaud my sisters. Everything that they said tonight was wonderful. On point as usual. I love the transparency that the vulnerability that they're willing to give. Also on top of that, so. But yeah, just it's the continual theme. Just have fun. You know, do away with the expectations of, you know, whether this is going to be your wife or your husband on date one. You know, don't go in thinking about how many bridesmaids and groomsmen you're going to have at the altar, you know, walking through the door and the house with the white picket fence. You know, throw that stuff away and have fun with the individual. Because if you can't have fun then, you're not going to have fun later. And that's a key thing right there. And I think a lot of people miss that. miss that boat. So just have fun, enjoy yourself, be open. That's another thing. Be open to different things and different ideas.
Oh, yes.
And if you're running out of date ideas, Google's your friend. Ask Siri. I mean, literally, but literally, if you go to Google and say creative date ideas, fun dates, there's so much stuff on there. And, let's use technology for what it needs to be. Instead of using technology to try to communicate, use technology to maybe help you out to plan some different things. And just, like I said, again, have fun. Ultimately, have fun. Enjoy yourself. But you can't do that unless you heal yourself and you come with a healed spirit and soul, because you won't be able to receive somebody wanting to love you.
Love it, man. Very well said, my brother. All right, what a phenomenal show. And I just want to, before I provide you with my final thoughts, thank you to this amazing panel of beautiful, knowledgeable sisters. Guys are phenomenal. So thank you for coming on to the show. So before I provide you with my final thoughts, I just want to state here that start to see every day as an opportunity for some fun conversations, and start having the mindset to go into every day intending to learn something about yourself. Because the reality is, when you focus on growth, really no date is a bad date, because each experience should make you an even better person for you to attract the right potential person. Even if this person doesn't turn out to be a good fit for you, you walk away with some useful information, moving forward to grow and enjoy your dates without feeling obligated or pressure to be with that person, because your main intent is to absolutely have fun. All right. So once again, I want to thank this amazing panel, and much love to the DBDS family.
Take it away, Mel.